the Skoda Enyaq. And trust me when I tell you, this isn't just any old car, because this right here is the 2022 Parker's Car of the Year. See, while the Enyaq is based on the same electric vehicle platform as the VW ID.4 and the Audi Q4 e-Tron, Skoda has once again provided the best overall package for what you, the consumer, gets for your money, which in this case is a starting price of around £35,000.
In this video, I'm going to talk you through exactly why we've given the Enyaq our Car of the Year award, delving into everything from the range and charging times, how much space you get, and which version I would recommend. I'm Hope Ellen, and this is your ultimate guide to the Skoda Enyaq. Don't forget to subscribe to the Parker's Cars channel and turn your notifications on so you get a reminder every time we publish a new video. All Skoda Enyaq models are of course electric, but that doesn't mean there's not multiple versions to choose from. The Enyaq IV60 is the cheapest with the lowest power outputs and total range, while the all-wheel drive ATX delivers the most oomph for a higher price. In the middle, there's the rear-wheel drive 80 model with 204 horsepower and the longest claimed range at 336 miles.
One of my favourite things about the Skoda Enyaq is the interior. Okay, it's not particularly flashy, but it has got a simple, uncluttered layout that should be fairly easy to get used to. The materials are durable and there is a lovely air of quality to them, much more so than its VW ID.4 sister car. You can choose from several different cabin design themes that feature different materials and colours. For example, this is the black and grey loft version in the 80s spec, but you could also go for the cognac brown leather upholstery, tanned using the extract of olive tree leaves. The Skoda Enyaq is an SUV, so of course the driving position is elevated and affords a commanding view looking out. As for comfort, adjustable lumbar support comes as standard, but if you really want to splash the cash, electrically adjustable heated seats with massage function are available. As for parking, rear sensors are standard, but you will need to pay extra for front sensors and reversing camera. You can just about see the extremities of this car, but it can be quite tricky to pick out the curb relative to the front wheels, so do watch out for damaged alloys.
At the time of filming, the Enyaq is available with 4 trim levels. There's the base level 60, then the 80, 80 Sportline and 80X Sportline as the current flagship. Standard equipment across the range is pretty generous and includes LED headlights, ambient lighting, keyless entry, a 13-inch infotainment screen, digital dash, dual zone climate control and a 3-year subscription to Skoda Connect services.
Like most cars on sale at the moment, much of the Enyaq's functions are viewed and controlled via the central touchscreen. In this case, that's 13 inches of easy, clear menus with large icons and sharp graphics. As you can see, the software could be a little quicker, but it is, once again, an overall better system than the VW ID.4. Having the climate control temperature functions integrated into the screen is less than ideal, but the Enyaq is not the only car guilty of doing this. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is included, plus there's the option of a wireless phone charger should you want it. Straight in front of you is the digital dashboard display, or as Skoda calls it, the virtual cockpit. This displays all your key driving information, is easy to understand and is very clear. A heads-up display is also available that projects key information such as your sat-nav instructions and your speed to the lower windscreen, so you don't have to take your eyes off the road. As for storage space up front, the Skoda Enyaq does very well indeed. Okay, the glove box isn't that big, but there is a huge amount of space under the centre armrest. Ta-da! There are various other bits of spaces here and there, and check this out. The door pockets are lined with a soft material, so your various items won't rattle about when you're driving. A great touch, and I think adds some great quality. Front, back, it doesn't matter where you sit in the Enyaq, there is tons of room. I'm only small, but there is still more than enough space for a couple of 6-footers back here. And because it's an electric car, there is no intrusion on the middle passenger's foot space either. Also, Parker's top tip, if you go for the optional family package basic, you get blinds for the rear windows and 2 rear USB-C ports. And if you go one further and go for the family package plus, you also get trays that fold down for the rear passengers.
Continuing the theme of big space, the Enyaq's boot measures very well indeed, and is larger, in fact, than the VW ID.4 and Ford Mustang Mach-E. Again, it's worth delving into the options list here, as the transport package adds handy extras such as height-adjustable boot floor, cargo netting, and a secondary release lever for the rear seats.
Before we find out what the electric Skoda is like to drive, we've got a quick usability test in the form of Hope's Car Olympics. So against the clock, I've got to fold down the rear seats so they're flat, tune in the radio to Absolute FM, and I've also got to set the sat-nav to take me to Buckingham Palace. Wish me luck. We're going to start off by opening this, pulling the lever down to pull the first 2 chairs down, they're flat, run round, run round, run round, run round. Open this door to do the second one. Follow this one. Rear seats are now flat, I can confirm. Jump in here. Shut that for ease. Ooh, slammy Slauson. My hair's going everywhere. Right, home. Quick. Menu. It's not it being the problem, it's me being the problem. Just scroll. Keep scrolling. Absolute radio. Boom. Play. Evidence. There you go. Very rocky. Next up, home. Sat-nav. Because the sat-nav is on the home screen search. Buckingham. Look how lovely and green that goes when you tap it, by the way. Buckingham Palace. Can you tell I'm a bit nervous against the clock? Can't even talk properly. Buckingham Palace, start. Please try. I've done it.
You know, for a car with so much tech, the Skoda Enyaq really wasn't that hard to use. The seats came down easily, the touchscreen did its job, and everything was laid out logically. Top marks to Skoda. It's now time to see how the Skoda does on the road.
I've got to say, driving the Enyaq is so unbelievably easy and relaxing. Yes, it's a fairly large SUV, but it does everything so effortlessly. The car I'm in now is the 80 spec model, so it's got a 204 horsepower, a 77 kilowatt battery. That means 0 to 62 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds, a top speed of 99 miles per hour, and a claimed range of 331 miles. Off-the-line acceleration is extremely good, but it does tail off a little bit quicker than you would expect from an electric car. That said, it's plenty fast enough for a family SUV, and the same can also be said for the less powerful 60 version. Like the ID.4, you've got 2 energy recuperation modes. You've got the standard D for drive and B for brake, the latter allowing for more aggressive recharging of the car's batteries when decelerating.
When it comes to charging the Enyaq, all models post December 2021 come with upgraded charging hardware as standard. Previously, it was optional. That means 120 kilowatts and 125 kilowatts for the 60 and 80 models respectively. Therefore, if you replenish the car at increasingly common 150 kilowatt public chargers, you should get a 10 to 80% charge in just over half an hour. Charge at home using a 7 kilowatt charger and you're looking at up to 13 hours.
Driving this Enyaq around, it soon becomes apparent that the focus is on comfort rather than agility and handling. Of course, it's very stable and there's plenty of grip, but it's not the kind of car that you would describe as being fun to drive. Is that a criticism? Not really, but if you are looking for a fun to drive electric SUV, then the Kia EV6 is probably a better bet. This one excels in comfort and refinement. You can get dynamic chassis control, which allows you to change the stiffness of the dampers using different driving modes. However, the fixed setup that we have in this car is cheaper and is still very smooth. And check this out for a party trick. The turning circle is incredibly tight for a big SUV, which is a bonus when you're driving around town. Just be aware that it won't be quite as impressive if you go for the all-wheel drive ATX version. So if you're thinking about buying a Skoda Enyaq, but you're not sure which version to go for, here are my top 3 choices. If you want the cheapest version, then go for the IV60 with the 62 kilowatt battery. If you are a company car user, then again, the 60 will do nicely, or go for the 80 for a longer range. Finally, if you want the fastest version of the Enyaq, then go for the 265 horsepower ATX Sportline. Either that or wait for the VRS Performance model dropping later this year. Saying this is a very good electric car is probably doing the Enyaq a little bit of a disservice because it's actually an exceptional car, full stop. There's acres of room for passengers and luggage, the quality is good, it's comfortable, easy to use, and the range is competitive. If I were buying one for myself, it wouldn't be too dissimilar to the one I'm driving now. The extra range that you get with the 80 makes sense, and with a few choice optional extras like the cognac brown leather seats, you can't get much better for the money.